Frank Bryce was the Riddle's gardener. He lived alone in a rundown cottage on the grounds of the Riddle house. Frank had come back from the war with a very stiff leg and a great dislike of crowds and loud noises, and had been working for the Riddles ever since. Welcome, curious listener, to Artificially Literate. This is where books, films, ideas, they all meet deep thought and, well, curiosity. Every episode, we really try to plunge into a piece of literature, maybe a compelling video, sometimes a cultural moment, and we break down its philosophical, its literal meanings.
Yeah, dig into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So today, we're not just dissecting any story. We are taking a magnifying glass to, I think, truly pivotal tale in modern fantasy. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
That's right. And our mission in this deep dive, it isn't just about, revisiting the narrative beats we all remember.
Right.
It's really about exploring the book's intricate plot, the profound character developments, and those overarching themes that just make it so utterly compelling.
We'll lay the book alongside the film adaptation, highlighting not just what made it to the screen or what got left behind, but really critically examining how those choices ultimately shape the narrative for millions.
Yeah, and how it maybe even changed how we collectively understand this wizarding world.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Get ready to look at a story you probably think you know inside and out, but maybe from a whole new angle.
Right.
Hopefully reveal some powerful aha moments along the way.
Looking forward to it. Okay, so let's kick things off by unpacking that truly unsettling overture.
Okay.
The book begins in a way the film just entirely skips, right? And it immediately sets this distinctly darker, much more mature tone.
Definitely.
We don't even start with Harry Potter. We start with an elderly muggle, Frank Bryce. He's a war veteran, a bit of a loner, stiff leg, hates crowds.
Yeah.
And he's been tending the decrepit Riddle house for decades. And he becomes the very first completely unwitting witness to the chilling reemergence of dark magic.
It's such a masterful choice by Rowling, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's truly fascinating here is how this opening sequence immediately establishes this palpable sense of dread and mystery. The film, probably for understandable reasons, pacing.
Yeah.
It jumps straight to Harry's dream, gets us right into his perspective.
Right.
But by starting with Frank, the book grounds the whole conflict in this very real, very human context, completely removed, initially, from the magical world we know.
Yeah, it feels different.
It does. We're introduced to Voldemort's return plan, Wormtail's there, Bertha Jorkins is mentioned, the crucial need for Harry Potter's blood. All from an outsider's perspective. We don't even really know who the voices are at first, which just ramps up the tension dramatically. It signals right away that the stakes have fundamentally shifted from the previous books.
And Frank's history is just tragic, isn't it? He was even initially suspected of the Riddle's murder all those years ago just because he was the gardener.
Yeah, poor guy.
And despite that, he stayed on, tending the property, even with what the book calls his nasty feeling about the place.
Right.
His final encounter with Voldemort and Wormtail is just chilling. Wormtail, all squeaky and clearly reluctant, he suggests it could be done without Harry Potter, my lord.
He's terrified.
Totally. But Voldemort, with that cold, menacing voice, is absolutely unyielding. He declares, I have my reasons for using the boy, as I have already explained to you, and I will use no other. I have waited 13 years. A few more months will make no difference.
Chilling.
For those of us who maybe only saw the film first, the sheer ruthlessness of Voldemort and his long game planning, it feels so much more immediate and terrifying with this prologue.
It really does.
It really makes you wonder, does the film truly lose something essential by cutting Frank, or does it just achieve the same goal through different means?
That's a great question, because from a purely cinematic viewpoint, there's definitely an argument for efficiency, right?
Yeah.
Jumping directly into Harry's dream connects the audience immediately to our protagonist and the magical world. It gets things moving.
Sure, makes sense.
However, the book's decision to open with Frank Bryce, it doesn't just introduce Voldemort's plot, it subtly expands the narrative's scope.
How so?
Well, it shows us the impact of dark magic on the Muggle world. It reminds us of the wider stakes beyond just Hogwarts.
Ah, yeah, I see.
The film's choice, while it's effective in its own way, maybe presents a cleaner, more contained conflict, whereas the book highlights a more pervasive, sort of insidious evil that reaches even into these forgotten Muggle villages.
So it's like a deeper dive into how their worlds are connected, which we kind of lose in the film.
Exactly. That interconnectedness is much clearer in the book's opening.
Okay, So eventually, of course, we do finally meet Harry. He's enduring another summer at the Dursleys.
Yeah, the Dursleys.
But this time it's a little different. His friends are actually sending him illicit food parcels, Mrs. Weasley's fruitcake.
Uh-huh. Probably hard as a rock.
Probably. Hermione's sugar-free snacks, even a few of Hagrid's infamous rock cakes.
Oh, dear.
And his anticipation for the Quidditch World Cup leads to this fantastic and just hilariously chaotic intervention by the Weasley family.
Oh, it's brilliant. This segment just perfectly highlights the stark contrast between Harry's two worlds, doesn't it?
Completely.
The Dursleys' irrational fear and just disdain for anything magical are pushed to an extreme. Uncle Vernon practically having a panic attack just hearing the word broomsticks.
He really does.
Then boom, the sudden boisterous arrival of the Weasleys via flu powder. Mr. Weasley struggling with the fireplace, yelling "Incendio" over and over.
And blowing up the Dursleys' fake electric fireplace.
Exactly. And the truly unforgettable incident with Dudley's toffee-enlarged tongue.
Oh my God, the tongue.
This entire Dudley's tongue episode is notably absent from the film,
Yeah, it's gone.
which significantly truncates the Dursleys' interaction. By cutting it, the film definitely streamlines the plot. But it sacrifices a foundational piece of the book's charm, I think. That sheer unpredictability and the delightful, often messy way the wizarding world constantly just crashes into the mundane.
It's pure mayhem. I mean, Harry, ever the clever one, uses the strategic mention of Sirius.
Mm-hmm. His murderous godfather.
Exactly, to basically blackmail Uncle Vernon into letting him go.
Smart kid.
And then the visual of Mr. Weasley trying to contain the situation, Aunt Petunia screaming hysterically while yanking on Dudley's monstrous tongue, poor Dudley nearly suffocating. It's also vivid in the book.
Total chaos.
We even get that early glimpse of Percy's disapproval of Fred and George, right? He's off trying to work while his family is causing absolute pandemonium.
Ever the ministry man even then.
And just as the chaos reaches its absolute peak, we hear that voice. "Tell me what," said a voice behind them. Mrs. Weasley had just entered the kitchen. "Tell me what, Arthur?"
Uh-huh. Perfect timing.
It's the perfect cutoff just before Molly Weasley lays down the law.
And that's exactly where the book uses these kind of domestic scenes, not just for humor, but to reinforce character dynamics and even foreshadow future conflicts.
Like Fred and George versus Percy.
Yeah, they're developing ambition to create mischief, often at Percy's expense. The film, in streamlining these events, loses some of that rich, early character interaction that makes the wizarding world feel so lived in and vibrant, filled with these small character-defining moments.
Definitely feels more lived in, yeah. Okay, so after that chaotic crash landing at the Dursleys, Harry's summer truly begins with that incredible journey to the Quidditch World Cup.
Ah, the World Cup.
And that whole experience is just a masterclass in how the wizarding world manages large-scale events, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
It's like an intricate lesson in magical logistics. You've got portkeys, all these anti-muggle precautions, meeting new characters like Amos Diggory and his son Cedric.
It really is. And this section raises that important question. How does the wizarding world manage such huge international events without muggles noticing?
Yeah.
The book's description of portkeys, with their staggered arrival times and all the detailed anti-muggle charms, disillusionment charms, muggle-repelling charms, it offers a truly fascinating look into the Ministry of Magic's operations.
Mm-hmm.
It's a level of detail the movie simplifies considerably. It focuses more on the spectacle, less on the intricate planning.
Right.
But for us, reading it, it's like a peek behind the curtain of wizarding infrastructure. It shows us how vast and surprisingly organized their society really is.
And we also get to see the differences in, like, social standing and personality within the ministry itself, right?
Exactly. Percy's idolization of Barty Crouch, this stiff, impeccably dressed guy who barely acknowledges him, calls him Weatherby.
Oh, that's brutal.
And then you contrast that with Ludo Bagman, the jovial ex-Quidditch star. He's a bit gone to seed, as the book says, but undeniably likable, charming everyone.
Some total opposites.
The film introduces these characters much more quickly, sure, but with less backstory on their specific departmental roles or their contrasting personalities. And that context actually becomes pretty important later on.
It's true, that sense of a meticulously organized yet still slightly ramshackle magical world comes through so well in the book.
Yeah, ramshackle is a good word for it sometimes.
The description of the old boot portkey, that long walk across Stoat's Head Hill, and poor Mr. Roberts, the muggle caretaker, constantly having his memory modified, it really paints a picture.
It does. Poor Mr. Roberts.
Then you arrive at this diverse, bustling campsite. It's filled with international wizards, kids flying around on toy broomsticks, sales wizards hawking luminous rosettes and roaring scarves.
It feels huge.
It truly feels like a global gathering. You hear snippets of foreign languages, excited chatter everywhere. And who can forget Fred and George's hilarious bet with Bagman,
Oh, classic.
putting their entire life savings on Ireland to win, but Crumb to get the snitch.
Such a specific, clever bet. And Bagman takes it instantly. Maybe too instantly.
Yeah. Foreshadowing, perhaps?
Perhaps. And Mr. Crouch's line, organizing portkeys across 5 continents is no mean feat, Ludo, really highlights the sheer scale of this operation.
Right.
It gives you a deeper appreciation for the Ministry's efforts, even as we start to see its flaws later. It's not just a fun trip. It's a testament to the Wizarding World's complex infrastructure and its constant, often precarious efforts to stay hidden from Muggles.
That kind of detail is really what makes Rowling's world feel so fully realized, I think.
Agreed. It's the world-building depth.
Okay, so the match itself is next a dazzling spectacle of magic and sport, a dizzying display of skill, mascot antics.
The Vila and the Leprechauns.
Exactly. But what should be this pure celebration is tragically overshadowed by the reappearance of the Dark Mark and the terror of the Death Eaters.
Right. The book provides this incredibly vivid, almost play-by-play account of the Ireland versus Bulgaria match. We get specific player actions. Dimitrov, Crumb, Lynch doing that Ronsky feint, and a wonderfully detailed contrast between the mascots. The playful, gold-showering leprechauns.
Which turns out to be fool's gold, of course.
Of course. And the enchanting, then suddenly aggressive Vila.
Yeah, don't make them angry.
The film compresses this significantly. And while it's visually stunning, a lot of the detailed game action and the specific fouls like cobbing or deliberately flying to collide, they get lost.
Sure.
But here's where it gets really interesting plot-wise. The post-match chaos is where the real story starts to thicken. That sudden, horrifying shift from celebration to pure terror.
It's abrupt.
Hooded, masked wizards torturing the Muggle family, the Robertses floating them high in the air, and then the chilling appearance of the Dark Mark Voldemort sign in the sky.
You remember those details so clearly from the book, the gold raining down from the leprechauns, the Vila's captivating and then enraging effect on the men.
Yeah.
Crumb's extraordinary seeker skills, even getting injured but still catching the snitch.
A strategic loss, almost.
Exactly. Then that abrupt, gut-wrenching shift to panic. The terrifying sight of masked figures levitating the Muggles, the appearance of the skull with the snake tongue.
Shivers.
Even Malfoy's taunts, using the derogatory mudblood term for Hermione during this chaos, it really highlights his evolving cruelty and the insidious nature of the hatred that's brewing.
He's getting bolder.
It transforms the entire atmosphere from festive to utterly foreboding, doesn't it? For you, listening out there, did the movie's abbreviated Quidditch match still convey the spectacle? Or did you, like me, miss some of those immersive details the book offered? How did that atmosphere change for you when the Dark Mark appeared?
It's a powerful point.
Yeah.
While the film's visuals for the match were certainly impressive,
They were.
the book's detailed account, including the specific fouls, the mascots' personalities,
Yeah.
it truly immerses you in the event before the horror strikes.
Yeah, that contrast is key.
So the abrupt shift, when the Dark Mark appears, feels much more jarring and effective in the book, precisely because of that initial immersion. It's a masterful piece of pacing, really, turning a moment of global wizarding triumph into one of stark, chilling terror.
And it cements the idea that the threat of Voldemort is very real, very present, even without his full physical return yet.
Exactly. It's the moment the gloves really come off for the series.
Okay, so in the terrifying aftermath of the Dark Mark, a terrified house elf named Winky is found with Harry's wand.
Poor Winky.
This leads to a heated accusation from Amos Diggory and Barty Crouch's furious, almost unhinged defense of her.
Yeah, he loses it a bit.
Meanwhile, the Daily Prophet, under the sensationalist pen of Rita Skeeter, immediately begins to spin its own narrative.
Right. And this entire subplot with Winky is almost completely excised from the
Well, it
film.
was totally gone, yeah.
And this is where we find one of those aha moments, I think, that profoundly changes how you perceive the wizarding world. By cutting Winky's story, the film does more than just streamline. It subtly sanitizes the wizarding world.
Sanitizes? How do you mean?
It sidesteps the uncomfortable truth that even good institutions like the Ministry harbor deep-seated injustices
Right.
embodied in the treatment of house elves.
Ah, the whole house elf slavery issue.
Exactly. This omission fundamentally alters the audience's understanding of the moral complexities that truly permeate Rowling's world. It presents a cleaner, maybe less ethically murky landscape.
Which isn't really the case in the books.
Not at all. It also blunts Hermione's evolution into this formidable social justice advocate. Her SPEW campaign, directly inspired by Winky's plight, becomes a defining element of her character later on.
Right, the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare.
And Barty Crouch Sr.'s passionate, almost unhinged defense of Winky, yelling, "If you accuse my elf, you accuse me, Diggory." It hints at his own dark secrets, his desperate need for this unimpeachable reputation, which the film almost entirely glosses over.
And Winky's tearful denial is just heartbreaking. I is not doing magic with it, sir. I is not making the dark mark, sir. I is not knowing how. Mr. Crouch's fury is intense. Mr. Weasley's intervention to calm things down is vital, but the core issue of systemic injustice for house elves is laid bare right there.
It is.
Then Rita Skeeter swoops in with her initial article about ministry blunders and culprits not apprehended, and you see Percy's utterly frustrated reaction. It shows how the public narrative is already being manipulated.
Instantly.
Hermione's question to Ron later, so, whoever conjured the dark mark, were they doing it to show support for the Death Eaters or to scare them away? It really captures the lingering uncertainty and fear.
It does.
Without Winky, without Hermione's burgeoning activism, does the film inadvertently suggest that the wizarding world is somehow more just or less complicated than the books imply?
It's a very fair point. The book highlights how information is controlled and manipulated even within the Ministry, and how a character like Rita Skeeter can exploit public fear and uncertainty for her own gain. Winky's story, in particular, adds this layer of moral complexity regarding the treatment of non-human magical beings. That becomes a huge theme for Hermione throughout the rest of the series.
Yeah, it drives her.
Without it, the film's narrative feels more straightforward, perhaps, but less rich in its exploration of wizarding society's underlying flaws. And it makes Hermione's later convictions feel a bit less earned, less organic, maybe.
It's a subtle shift, but a significant one in how we understand the world itself.
Definitely.
All right, that brings us to the end of part 1. Let's move into the tournament itself.
Okay.
So, after the chaos of the World Cup, Harry, Ron, and Hermione return to Hogwarts amidst a storm both literal and figurative.
Yes, the weather is terrible.
We're introduced to the unforgettable Alastor Mad-Eye Moody, the new defense against the dark arts teacher.
What an entrance.
And the thrilling, but definitely controversial, announcement of the Triwizard Tournament.
The return to Hogwarts definitely feels different this year. The torrential rain, Peeves' usual antics lobbing water bombs.
Always Peeves.
It contrasts with this palpable anticipation for the school year ahead. The book also highlights that extended list of forbidden items Filch has posted.
Oh yeah, like screaming yo-yos and fanged frisbees.
Exactly. Offers a touch of humor and shows Dumbledore's or maybe Filch's ongoing battle to keep things under control, which the film only briefly touches upon.
Right?
Then Dumbledore's announcement of the Triwizard Tournament, an event absent for a century, it generates immense excitement across the Great Hall.
Huge news.
However, that age restriction, only students who are of age, that is to say 17 years or older, will be allowed to put forward their names. That immediately sparks outrage.
Especially from Fred and George.
Particularly from Fred and George Weasley, yes. The film faithfully captures the excitement and the age restriction, but it doesn't dwell quite as much on the immediate impact on the twins or their subsequent hilarious attempts to bypass the rules.
With the aging potion.
Exactly. Moody's arrival, though, with his unique appearance, that clunking leg, the magical eye whizzing around.
It's very visual.
It's visually dramatic in both book and film, definitely. But the book spends more time establishing his quirks and his ever-present mantra, constant vigilance.
Constant vigilance.
Which becomes, in hindsight, a deeply chilling piece of foreshadowing about his true identity.
And those quirks are so memorable. The twins' frustration is hilarious when they try to bypass the age line with that aging potion.
Oh, yeah.
Only to sprout these long white beards and end up brawling in the Great Hall.
Classic Fred and George.
It's such a classic moment that really emphasizes their mischievous spirit. But that age restriction, it immediately raised the stakes, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
It made it clear this wasn't going to be some simple school competition. This was something far more dangerous.
Absolutely. The age restriction, while seeming unfair to younger students like Harry, really underscores the inherent dangers of the tournament. Remember, it had been previously suspended due to the high death toll.
Right, people died.
It shifts the perception from just an exciting game to a serious, potentially lethal competition.
Yeah.
And that's further emphasized by the 1,000 galleons prize money.
Big prize.
It also immediately sets up the central mystery.
Yeah.
How is Harry's name going to eventually get entered despite these rules, making the subsequent events even more intriguing?
It's a clever narrative device, yeah. It establishes the gravity of what's coming.
Exactly.
Okay, so Hogwarts lessons this year are anything but ordinary. We've got Hagrid's alarming new creatures, the blast-ended Scroots.
Oh, the Scroots.
To Moody's unnerving demonstrations of the unforgivable curses.
Right. The blast-ended Scroots are a definite book-only delight. Or maybe horror, depending on your perspective.
Haha, probably horror for the student.
Definitely for Malfoy. They exemplify Hagrid's boundless, if sometimes misguided, love for monstrous creatures.
He means well.
He always means well. And they provide comic relief through the students' sheer revulsion. Well, comical, they also serve to subtly foreshadow future dangers, don't they? With their fire-blasting ends and stings, creatures the students are forced to nurture might one day be weapons.
Good point.
This entire element is completely absent from the film. And while it's maybe a minor plot point, it definitely adds flavor to the world and Hagrid's character.
Yeah, it does feel very Hagrid.
More gravely, though, are Moody's defense against the dark arts lessons, when he demonstrates the Imperius Cruciatus and killing curses.
On spiders, mostly.
Yes, thankfully.
Huh.
It's a stark reminder of the dark forces at play. And Neville Longbottom's particularly strong, traumatized reaction to the Cruciatus curse demonstration.
That's a really poignant book detail.
Yeah, the book describes it. Harry, following her gaze, saw that Neville's hands were clenched upon the desk in front of him, his knuckles white, his eyes wide and horrified.
It hits you. It hints so strongly at his tragic past, which we later learn involves his parents being tortured into insanity by that very curse.
Right. It provides a depth to Neville's backstory that is handled much more subtly, if at all, in the movie during this specific section.
It's true, the grotesque appearance of the Scroots, these sort of armored, headless lobsters that shoot fire from their rears.
Yes, yeah.
And the students' desperate attempts to care for them, or just avoid them, is a perfect Hagridism. You just know he means well.
Always.
But then, Moody's calm, yet utterly terrifying demonstrations of the curses, showing their power, their insidious nature.
Yeah.
It's chilling.
It really is.
And Neville's visible distress brings home the real-world impact of these dark spells on a personal level, long before we even know why it affects him so deeply.
Indeed. And Moody's stark warning afterwards. The Imperius curse can be fought, but it takes real strength of character, and not everyone's got it. Better avoid being hit with it if you can. Constant vigilance.
Constant vigilance.
It highlights the immediate and personal threat these curses pose. It makes the lessons feel less theoretical and more like actual survival training.
Yeah, prepping them.
It's a crucial part of the book's darker tone, emphasizing the escalating dangers Harry and his friends are facing, preparing them for the realities of the wizarding world beyond school tests.
Okay, so then the much-anticipated delegations from Beauxbatons and Durmstrang arrive.
The arrival.
In spectacular fashion, bringing this new international flair and one very famous Quidditch player.
Victor Krum.
But the real shock comes when the Goblet of Fire makes its final, completely unprecedented choice.
Right. The film perfectly captures the dramatic entrances, doesn't it? Beauxbatons with their elegant carriage, drawn by those magnificent winged horses, Ibraxons,
Beautiful.
led by the imposing Madame Maxime, and Durmstrang with their ship rising mysteriously from the depths of the Black Lake, featuring the legendary Victor Krum and the rather sinister Igor Karkaroff.
Definitely sinister vibes from Karkaroff.
These visuals are truly iconic and were brought to life beautifully on screen. However, the book, around this time, also delves into Hermione's growing passion for SPEW.
Right, the House Elf Rights campaign.
The Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare, yes. An activism born from her discovery of Hogwarts' hundreds of house elves and their perceived oppression.
And Ron's reaction to it.
Oh, yeah. This subplot, and Fred and George's arguments against it, they're happy, they think they've got the best job in the world. That's completely omitted from the film, which to me is a significant loss.
Why? Significant.
It streamlines the narrative, sure, but it removes a major piece of social commentary and crucial character development for Hermione. This omission fundamentally shifts our understanding of Hermione's burgeoning moral compass and the deeper systemic issues within the magical world itself.
That's a powerful insight. We see Madame Maxime, who the book hints is also half-giant.
Right, Hagrid recognizes it.
And Karkaroff, who immediately eyes Snape suspiciously, hinting at a shared dark past, presumably as Death Eaters.
Yeah, there's tension there.
The dramatic moment of the champions' names being called from the Goblet Fleur Delacour, Victor Crumb, Cedric Diggory,
Respected mostly.
culminating in Harry's name emerging. His disbelief and Ron's furious, "you're joking," reaction. It's just a gut punch.
Total shock and anger.
Malfoy's smugness when Crumb sits with the Slytherins just adds to the tension. As Dumbledore says right before it happens, the moment has come. The Triwizard Tournament is about to start. I would like to say a few words of explanation before we bring in the casket.
Famous last words before chaos.
And then everything changes. This is where the emotional stakes just skyrocket. But by taking out SPW, does the film maybe simplify Hermione's character arc, making her less of a social justice warrior and maybe more solely focused on Harry's journey?
I think it absolutely does. The exclusion of STW from the film, while maybe necessary for brevity, removes a layer of depth about the wizarding world's social hierarchy and Hermione's evolving moral compass.
Yeah.
It's a poignant example of how the book allows for more nuanced explorations of character and theme, whereas the film has to prioritize the main plot points. Without SPW, Hermione's fierce advocacy for the marginalized feels less integrated into her identity throughout this book.
Makes sense.
And the animosity and sense of betrayal Harry feels, not just from Ron, but from many other students who think he cheated. It establishes this profound isolation that he carries through much of the tournament.
Yeah, the Potter stings badges.
Exactly. It feels even more cutting because of the sheer unfairness of his selection.
Okay, so with the tournament officially underway, Harry gets that terrifying hint about the first task, dragons.
Dragons.
Facing a Hungarian horntail, no less, he has to rely on his wits, some well-timed advice from Sirius,
Via owl post, or rather fireplace flue call.
and mastering a powerful summoning charm.
Right. This is where the danger truly sets in, and the book excels in building suspense and detailing the strategy involved. The revelation of dragons for the first task, initially shown to Harry by Hagrid in a secret nighttime meeting.
Which Madame Maxine's also attends.
Exactly. Further hinting at their shared half-giant heritage, which is a book-only detail that escalates the stakes significantly.
Big.
The book meticulously details Karkaroff spying on the dragons, which is a clear sign of his duplicity, trying to help Crumb.
Cheating already.
And Sirius's brilliant suggestion for Harry to use a summoning charm Accio for his firebolt. That's key.
Lifesaver.
This strategic preparation, combined with Hermione's rigorous coaching, remember her making him practice over and over, even playfully threatening him, threaten me with a dragon, right?
Yeah.
Those are portrayed with such rich detail in the book. The film visualizes the dragon challenge spectacularly, no doubt.
Well, it's amazing.
But the inner turmoil, the intellectual struggle to master the charm, and the explicit foundational coaching from Hermione are far more pronounced in the book. It shows us Harry's growth in a different way.
Like how he has to work for it.
Precisely. And Ludo Bagman's biased, often reckless commentary during the task is also a book highlight, offering Harry help, scoring him highly. It emphasizes his questionable neutrality as a judge.
Yeah, he's definitely not impartial. I can still picture Harry's sheer terror upon seeing the Hungarian horntail, its bronze-spiked tail whipping around.
Terrifying description.
Then his desperate practice of the summoning charm with Hermione, shouting "Accio" at everything until he finally masters it.
Hard work pays off.
The actual task, with his successful summoning of the firebolt, his incredible aerial maneuvers to retrieve the golden egg, and the judge's scoring, putting him in a tie for first place with Crumb, actually not Cedric.
Ah, right, with Crumb initially. Good correction. It's also exhilarating.
But that intellectual struggle, that sense of Harry earning his success through study and practice rather than just pure instinct, that feels a bit more emphasized in the book, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. The film excels at the spectacle, the visual thrill. But the book grounds Harry's success in diligent effort and the crucial support of his friends, particularly Hermione's intellectual rigor.
Yeah.
It's a key part of his character development, showing him mature beyond just being the boy who lived into becoming, well, the wizard who actually studies sometimes.
Sometimes.
It emphasizes that even in a magical world, preparation, intelligence, and a little help from your friends can be just as vital as raw talent or fame.
Very true. Okay, just a quick note to you, our wonderful listeners. If you're enjoying this deep dive into artificially literate, please make sure to follow us. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube for more thoughtful explorations of your favorite stories.
Please do.
And with that, we move to our next quote that ends this middle section from a very helpful and very free house elf.
Harry Potter needs to hurry, squeaked Dobby. The second task starts in 10 minutes, and Harry Potter brang.
All right, part 3. The Yule Ball offers this rare moment of social grace, or maybe awkwardness.
Definitely awkwardness for some.
But it's absolutely fraught with teenage angst, burgeoning romance, and some pretty bitter jealousy.
Oh, yeah.
It also reveals secrets and further exposes the intrusive nature of Rita Skeeter's journalism.
Right. This segment provides such a critical social backdrop, and it's often streamlined in the movie. In doing so, I feel we lose much of its emotional texture and character depth.
How so?
Well, Harry's awkward struggle to find a partner, his crushing disappointment when Cho Chang goes with Cedric,
Painful.
and Ron's spectacular failure to secure a date, leading to his truly insensitive, dumpy comment about Eloise Midgen.
Cringeworthy Ron moment.
And his later, almost bewildered realization when he sees Hermione. Hermione, Neville's right, you are a girl.
Took him long enough?
These are classic book moments. They add immense character depth and humor, showcasing the painful, awkward realities of teenage social dynamics, magic or no magic.
Totally relatable.
Then Hermione's surprise arrival with Victor Crumb looking absolutely stunning.
Big reveal moment.
It immediately exposes Ron's deep-seated jealousy. He just spits at her. He's from Durmstrang.
Yeah.
He's competing against Harry, against Hogwarts. You're fraternizing with the enemy. That's what you're doing.
He does not handle it well.
Not at all. This emotional complexity, including Hagrid's secret about his half-giant heritage being revealed to Madame Maxime,
A tender moment.
and then cruelly twisted by Rita Skeeter into a sensationalist article, that's all far more developed in the book. The movie captures the visual splendor of the ball. Hermione's transformation is great,
She looks amazing.
but it largely omits the full emotional fallout and the specifics of Skeeter's destructive journalism at this particular stage. It lessens the depth of these characters' personal struggles, I think.
Whoa, the drama. It's so much more than just a dance, isn't it? Harry's fumbling attempt to ask Cho, Ron's absolute fury at Hermione's date choice,
A little meltdown.
the intimate, whispered scene with Hagrid and Madame Maxime under that reindeer statue where he confesses, was it your mother or your father? Only for Rita Skeeter, lurking nearby, to turn it into this horrifying sensationalist article.
Dumbledore's giant mistake.
Exactly. And the other one, Harry Potter's secret heartache, portraying Hermione as this plain but ambitious girl, toying with the affections of both Harry and Crumb.
Just vicious.
This level of emotional complexity, where even a seemingly joyous event is just full of awkwardness and cruelty, makes the book feel so authentic.
Right.
I love that detail where Dean mutters, I still can't work out how you two got the best-looking girls in the year, referring to Harry and Ron with the Patil twins,
Yeah.
to which Ron gloomily replies, animal magnetism, while pulling stray threads out of his awful dress robe cuff.
Perfect Ron.
It just highlights the deeply human, sometimes hurtful aspects of growing up, all set against this magical backdrop.
Exactly. The book uses the Yule Ball not just as a festive interlude, but as a crucible for character development. It exposes insecurities, forges new bonds, and lays bare the social pressures faced by teenagers, magical or otherwise. The film, while visually beautiful, often glosses over these intricate emotional landscapes for narrative efficiency, which unfortunately diminishes the impact of some of these interpersonal conflicts and revelations.
It makes us truly feel the discomfort and the joy of these characters in the book.
Exactly. You live it with them more.
Okay, moving on. Cedric's cryptic hint about taking a bath with the golden egg
Good guy, Cedric.
leads Harry to the prefect's bathroom, moaning Myrtle, and the terrifying realization of the second task, retrieving what they'll sorely miss from the bottom of the Black Lake.
Right. And this is where the book really excels in building suspense and detailing the intellectual puzzle of the egg's clue, which is explored more deeply than in the film. The scene in the luxurious prefect's bathroom with moaning Myrtle, whose typically tactless reaction to Harry asking about breathing underwater, talking about breathing in front of me, and when I can't, when I haven't, not for ages, is classic Myrtle.
Always sensitive.
That scene is absolutely crucial for Harry finally solving the egg's riddle, hearing the Verpeople's song clearly underwater.
Right.
Then there was that close call with Filch and Snape, who are investigating Snape's office being broken into. Harry's only saved by Moody showing up on the Marauders map.
Another layer of tension.
Yes, and it further implicates Barty Crouch Jr., disguised as Moody, in the break-in at Snape's office, trying to get potion ingredients.
Ah, connecting the dots.
The movie depicts the underwater task itself very effectively. It's visually impressive.
It is. Creepy merpeople.
But the book emphasizes Harry's moral dilemma during the task much more strongly. He struggles not just to rescue Ron, who is his designated hostage, but also Fleur's younger sister, Gabrielle, whom he sees is also left behind. He thinks, she's my friend too, and I don't want them to die either.
Even though Fleur is out of the task.
Exactly. His decision to save multiple hostages, despite the time penalty it costs him, showcases his innate selflessness. It's a trait Ron proudly calls his moral fiber afterwards.
Nice moment between them.
This moral choice is a core book theme that the film, while it does show Harry saving Gabrielle, doesn't emphasize quite as deeply.
And there's another key book detail missed in the movie here, right?
Yes. Dobby's timely intervention with the gillyweed.
Right. In the movie, Neville gives it to him.
Yes, which is a change from the book, where Harry is desperately trying to find a solution. Dobby overhears professors discussing it, or thinks he does, and brings in the gillyweed literally minutes before the task starts.
So it changes the dynamic. Makes it less about Neville's budding herbology knowledge and more about house elf loyalty again.
Exactly. It shifts Harry's rescue from relying on a friend's knowledge to relying on the help of a grateful house elf, reinforcing that bond.
That luxurious prefect's bathroom, though, with all its different enchanted bubble baths and that swimming pool-sized tub, such a vivid image.
Incredible perk.
And then the chilling merpeople song, Harry's panic when he can't figure it out, and Dobby's frantic but ultimately saving appearance with the gillyweed.
Just in time.
Leading to Harry's transformation gills, webbed hands and feet. The harrowing encounter with the Grendylows underwater really puts you on edge.
Yeah, nasty little things.
And Crumb, ever the awkward charmer, even says afterwards, "You have a water beetle in your hair, Hermione Ninny," during the aftermath.
Trying his best.
It's like a small detail that just adds to his character. The film really streamlines this, losing that specific house elf connection and the full weight of Harry's selfless decision, which, for me, makes his heroism feel more intrinsic, more earned in the book.
It's those granular details, like Dobby's help and Harry's internal debate about saving Gabrielle, that truly underscore Harry's character and the values he embodies. The moral choice element adds significant depth beyond just the physical challenge. It illustrates that true heroism isn't just about strength or magical ability, but about compassion and self-sacrifice, even when it costs you points.
Yeah.
The film focuses on the spectacle, which it does well, but the book provides the soul, making Harry's actions resonate on a deeper, more meaningful level.
Okay, the mysteries truly deepen next with Mr. Crouch's increasingly erratic behavior and eventual breakdown.
Yeah, things get really weird with him.
Leading to Harry's discovery of the pensive in Dumbledore's office, and the shocking truth it reveals about Crouch's past and Voldemort's plans.
Right. The book provides extensive detail on Crouch's descent into madness. His appearances looking disheveled, talking to trees.
So out of character for him.
Completely.
Yeah.
Then his desperate plea to Dumbledore, stumbling out of the Forbidden Forest, and his fragmented confession to Harry and Crumb. My fault.
Yeah.
All my fault. Bertha, dead. All my fault. My son, my fault.
Before he disappears.
Before he disappears, seemingly taken back into the forest. This pivotal scene is crucial for understanding the larger plot. While the movie has a version of Crouch's final moments, it lacks the full context of his ramblings and his mysterious disappearance before Harry can fetch Dumbledore.
Yeah, it happens differently.
And then the pensive sequence. Just a masterpiece of world building and exposition.
Agreed.
It allows Harry, and by extension us, the listener, to witness past events unfold directly. We see Karkaroff's trial, naming names to get out of Azkaban.
Naming Snape.
Yes. We see Ludo Bagman's surprising trial for Death Eater affiliation, accused of passing information to Rookwood.
Which is a significant book revelation completely omitted from the film.
Totally gone. And it explains a lot about Bagman's later shady behavior and gambling debts. And then the truly tragic trial of Barty Crouch Jr. and his Death Eater companions, Bellatrix, Rodolphus, and Rabaston Lestrange for torturing the Longbottoms.
Horrifying.
This is where Dumbledore confirms Voldemort's return to Harry and reveals his suspicions about Bertha Jorkins's appearance, how she stumbled upon Crouch Jr. being hidden by his father and Frank Bryce's death, forming this terrifying pattern.
Connecting the dots.
The connection between Harry Scarpain and Voldemort's proximity and rising strength is also clarified.
And that powerful book moment when Harry realizes Sirius was sent to Azkaban by Crouch without a trial.
Just threw him in.
It really explains Sirius's intense animosity towards Crouch Sr. The film's omission of Bagman's trial, in particular, removes a key piece of the political puzzle.
Right. It just simplifies things again.
It does. It removes context that explains his later dubious dealings and the broader corruption, or at least moral ambiguity, within parts of the ministry.
It's all so intricate. We see Crouch's deranged state, his desperate cries to Harry in the forest. Then, in the pensive, that chilling memory of Barty Crouch Jr.'s trial, begging his father, the Dementors, his mother screaming, only to find out Barty Jr. supposedly died a year later in Azkaban.
Supposedly.
Dumbledore connects the dots for Harry, saying, "The years of Voldemort's ascent to power were marked with disappearances. Bertha Jorkins has vanished without a trace. Mr. Crouch, too, has disappeared, and there was a third disappearance, Frank Bryce."
Laying it all out.
It's a moment of profound revelation, tying together so many seemingly disparate threads and truly emphasizing Dumbledore's acute awareness of the subtle patterns of darkness emerging.
This section is really the narrative linchpin, isn't it? Where all the seemingly disparate elements of the plot, Winky, Crouch Sr.'s weirdness, the break-in, Bertha Jorkins, they all coalesce into a clear, terrifying picture.
Yeah, it clicks.
The book meticulously unveils the layers of deception and the profound corruption, or at least moral compromise, within parts of the ministry. The film, while conveying the core revelation of Crouch Jr.'s involvement, necessarily compresses this intricate web of past events and political machinations.
Losing Bagman's trial, for example.
Right. Losing that removes a significant piece of the puzzle that explains his later behavior and adds to the sense that the ministry itself is compromised, not just by outright evil, but by negligence, ambition, and internal corruption.
Okay, the third task. The final challenge of the Triwizard Tournament. It's a treacherous maze filled with magical creatures and enchantments.
A maze.
It culminates in Harry and Cedric reaching the Triwizard Cup together, only for it to be a portkey, transporting them to that chilling graveyard from Harry's recurring dreams.
Right. The maze in the book is just a masterclass in escalating tension. It features such a variety of magical obstacles that test the champion's diverse skills.
More than the moving hedges in the film?
Oh, much more. Harry encounters a boggart disguised as a Dementor, forcing him to use the Patronus charm.
Good practice.
The golden mist that literally turns the world upside down. A blast-ended Scroot, a full-grown one, remember those from Hagrid's class?
Oh, yeah, they come back.
And a riddle-posing Sphinx.
The Sphinx! Wow.
The movie largely focuses on the core events, the chase, Krumm's attack, getting to the cup. But it simplifies the variety of magical challenges considerably. It makes the journey feel somewhat less perilous, maybe less complex. This is also where Krumm, clearly under the Imperious Curse in the book, attacks Cedric.
Right, Moody Crouch Jr. put him under.
Exactly. Highlighting the dark influence that has infiltrated the tournament itself. Harry's and Cedric's decision to share the cup, born out of sportsmanship and mutual respect after Harry saves him.
A noble moment.
It truly underscores the bond between these two as true champions, which makes what happens next even more devastating.
Yeah.
The moment they touch the cup and get whisked away is a terrifying, abrupt transition into the story's climax. The movie, while impactful, compresses the maze significantly and, crucially, doesn't explicitly state, Krumm is under the Imperious Curse in this scene.
How does that change things?
It subtly changes the audience's understanding of his actions. It makes Krumm seem potentially malicious or weak-willed, rather than a victim being compelled by dark magic, which is the book's intention.
Gotcha. The inverted world, the Sphinx's riddle where the answer is spider,
Creepy.
Krumm's attack on Cedric, Harry's stunning Krumm, and then Harry's struggle with a giant acromantula near the cup. It's a truly harrowing journey in the book.
It really tests them.
It reminds you how much danger these teenagers are truly in and the variety of magical threats they face. But it's that shared decision to take the cup together, a gesture of respect and pure sportsmanship.
Against the spirit of the competition, really.
That makes the twist, the portkey reveal, even more brutal, doesn't it? It elevates Cedric beyond just a rival to a true ally, a friend even.
It absolutely does. It makes his fate hit harder.
And that Sphinx's chilling riddle. First, think of the person who lives in disguise, who deals in secrets and tells naught but lies. Next, tell me what's always the last thing to mend, the middle of middle and end of the end. And finally, give me the sound often heard during the search for a hard-to-find word. Now string them together and answer me this. Which creature would you be unwilling to kiss?
Brilliant riddle. Spy, deer, spider.
Exactly. It's a brilliant puzzle integrating wit with the danger.
That riddle perfectly encapsulates the intellectual challenge of the maze, not just the physical one. The book's full exploration of the maze's various magical traps makes the champion's eventual success feel genuinely hard-won and dangerous, rather than just a quick dash to the center. And the details regarding Krumm's actions being forced by the Imperious Curse are vital for understanding the true extent of the plot against Harry. It's a nuance that the film's omission somewhat diminishes, removing a layer of how insidious the dark magic is, corrupting even seemingly benign figures within the tournament.
Right. Okay, so they grab the cup and land in that desolate graveyard.
A graveyard scene.
Cedric Diggory is cruelly, instantly murdered by Peter Pettigrew. Kill the spare.
Brutal. Chilling line.
And Harry becomes a horrified witness to Lord Voldemort's terrifying ritual of resurrection, culminating in that duel where their wands connect in a completely unprecedented magical phenomenon.
This is the harrowing, gut-wrenching climax of the book. And honestly, it's reproduced with chilling fidelity in the film, too.
Yeah, the film does this part very well.
The death of Cedric, that cold, casual order, kill the spare, is an incredibly impactful moment. It signifies a definitive shift into a darker, more adult narrative for the series. No turning back.
Game changer.
Voldemort's resurrection speech, detailing the horrific ingredients: flesh of the servant, willingly given; bone of the father, unknowingly taken; blood of the enemy, forcibly taken.
Oh, the details.
It's a crucial piece of lore. It reveals the mechanics of this dark, ancient magic in a truly visceral way. The subsequent call to the Death Eaters, summoning them with the Dark Mark, saying, 13 years. 13 years since last we met. And then his test of their loyalty, exposing their guilt, their fear, calling them out one by one. It provides incredible character insight into his followers.
You see who came back, who didn't, who looks terrified.
Exactly. Malfoy's father's there, Crabbe, Goyle's father's. The subsequent duel between Harry and the newly resurrected Voldemort, and that rare magical occurrence, Priori Incantatem.
The reverse spell effect.
Where their wands, brother wands sharing phoenix feather cores, connect and force specters, echoes, of Voldemort's most recent victims to emerge from his wand.
Cedric, Frank Bryce, Bertha Jorkins.
And then Lily and James Potter. It's this powerful moment of both vulnerability for Voldemort and unexpected aid for Harry.
They help him escape.
It's a profound display of the connection between the two, the strength of Harry's spirit and the protective power of his parents' love. Truly one of the series' defining moments.
Cedric's death, Wormtail's horrifying sacrifice of his own hand, the potion turning blinding white in the cauldron, and then Voldemort's gaunt, skeletal, snake-like appearance. It's also vividly disturbing, a truly nightmarish rebirth.
It really is.
The duel itself, Harry fighting off the Imperious Curse, resisting the Cruciatus Curse through sheer will. The ethereal phoenix song from the connection. And the emergence of those echoes from Voldemort's wand, giving Harry the crucial distraction to grab Cedric's body and the Portkey cup.
A desperate escape.
It's a desperate, terrifying struggle where Harry's moral courage shines through despite his youth and the trauma, as Harry yells, "Accio!" pointing his wand at the Triwizard Cup. It just encapsulates his desperate will to survive and, importantly, to protect Cedric's memory, pulling him back from the brink.
This sequence is undeniably one of the most impactful in the entire series. The detail provided in the book, especially Voldemort's monologue, doesn't just advance the plot. It deepens our understanding of his philosophy, his warped view of power, his relationship with his followers, the true nature of the magic binding him to Harry. The Priori Incantatem is such a rare and powerful magical occurrence. It fundamentally alters Harry's perception of his own connection to Voldemort, moving beyond just a scar to this deep, inherent, almost fated link. It's a moment that changes absolutely everything for Harry and for the reader or viewer.
Okay, so Harry returns to Hogwarts, traumatized, clutching Cedric's body. Chaos erupts.
Utter chaos and grief.
Dumbledore, in a furious display of power we rarely see, exposes Mad-Eye Moody as Barty Crouch Jr. under Veritaserum,
finally revealing the imposter.
revealing the entire elaborate plot to deliver Harry to Voldemort. However, Minister Fudge arrives and shockingly denies Voldemort's return, heavily influenced, it seems, by Rita Skeeter's biased journalism and his own fear.
Right. And this final unraveling is where many critical book details are either subtly handled or completely missed in the film, enriching the political and social commentary significantly in the book version.
Such as?
Well, the book fully details Barty Crouch Jr.'s confession under the Veritaserum, how he escaped Azkaban with his mother's help, swapping places.
The dying mother's wish.
How his father controlled him at home
with the Imperious Curse, keeping him hidden under an invisibility cloak. How Bertha Jorkins accidentally discovered him, leading to her capture by Voldemort and Wormtail.
And her memory giving Voldemort crucial information.
Exactly. Information about the tournament, about Moody teaching at Hogwarts, everything Voldemort needed. And how Crouch Jr. then captured the real Moody and impersonated him all year using Polyjuice Potion.
It's incredibly elaborate.
And the chilling admission, "I killed my father," just solidifies his depravity and reveals the depths of his loyalty to Voldemort. The movie reveals Moody is Crouch Jr., yes, but the full, horrifying confession under Veritaserum and Dumbledore's powerful, controlled fury during it, that's far more comprehensively explored in the book.
It gives a much more terrifying sense of infiltration and betrayal.
Definitely. Then Fudge's arrogant refusal to believe Dumbledore despite seeing Crouch Jr. confess, fueled by Rita Skeeter's biased articles painting Harry as disturbed. Harry even pointedly says, "You've been reading Rita Skeeter, Mr. Fudge."
Fudge chooses denial.
It highlights the Ministry's dangerous denial and the power of public perception, or rather willful ignorance, to ignore inconvenient truths. Dumbledore's urgent calls, remove Dementors from Azkaban, reach out to the Giants, prepare for war, are dismissed.
Setting the stage for Book 5's conflict.
Precisely. And here's where it gets really interesting, another book-only twist. The reveal of how Rita Skeeter got her scoops.
Yeah.
Hermione figures it out. Rita Skeeter is an unregistered animagus.
What?
A beetle, a small beetle buzzing around listening in on private conversations. That's how she gathered her invasive scoops all year.
Wow, that's clever. And the movie completely omits that.
Completely. It leaves her journalistic methods a complete mystery in the film. This omission lessens the cunning nature of her character and removes a fascinating piece of world-building lore about animagia.
Yeah, that's a big detail to lose.
And even one last detail. Fred and George telling Harry about Ludo Bagman finally paying them their winnings from the World Cup bet.
Oh, yes.
But paying them with vanishing leprechaun gold, it disappears. This hints strongly at Bagman's gambling debts and shady dealings, tying back to his trial we saw in The Pensive. Another significant book detail absent from the film that colors our understanding of the broader wizarding economy and corruption.
Dumbledore's cold fury as he confronts Crouch Jr., his blue eyes blazing, it's palpable in the book. Crouch Jr.'s detailed confession explaining the Polyjuice Potion, the 7-lock trunk where the real Moody was imprisoned. It paints this terrifying picture of the elaborate plot.
Chilling.
But it's Fudge's obstinacy, dismissing the evidence, questioning Dumbledore's sanity. Harry realizes Skeeter's influence when Fudge says things like, "A Parselmouth, eh?" and having funny turns all over the place.
Blaming the victim.
It's a chilling moment of political denial in the face of absolute truth. It perfectly highlights the Ministry's self-serving complacency and fear. Dumbledore's urgent advice for the looming war, urging Fudge to accept the truth. "Voldemort has returned," Dumbledore repeated. "If you accept that fact straight away, Fudge, and take the necessary measures, we may still be able to save the situation."
A stark warning.
That falls completely on deaf ears. But then there are the bittersweet goodbyes at the end of term, including Hermione kissing Harry's cheek.
A sweet moment.
And Harry giving his Triwizard winnings, the 1,000 galleons, to Fred and George, helping launch their joke shop business, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes.
Investing in the future.
It provides this small, hopeful light in the overwhelming darkness. It shows that even amidst such profound loss and looming war, human connection, friendship, and entrepreneurial spirit endure.
This concluding section is just a masterclass in weaving together political intrigue, character development, and the overarching battle of good versus evil. The book uses every single detail to set the stage for the darker conflicts to come. It portrays Fudge as this dangerously complacent leader and highlights the critical importance of truth in the face of denial. The film's necessary omissions, while maybe speeding up the narrative, unfortunately dilute these intricate layers, particularly regarding the full implications of Skeeter's actions as an animagus in Bagman's compromised position.
Yeah.
These are details that fundamentally change how we understand the challenges Harry will face in the years to come. It's not just about confronting Voldemort, it's about battling institutional corruption, public ignorance, and media manipulation too.
Wow. So much depth. Okay, let's end with Dumbledore's poignant words at the leaving feast.
Remember, Cedric. Remember, if the time should come when you have to make a choice between what is right and what is easy, remember what happened to a boy who was good and kind and brave because he strayed across the path of Lord Voldemort and paid the price.
Powerful words. What an epic, intricate story, just packed with hidden layers and profound moments. Thank you, dear listener, for diving deep with us into Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire here on Artificially Literate.
Yeah, thanks for sticking with us through all that detail.
We really hope this exploration has given you some new insights and maybe a renewed appreciation for the genius of this particular tale.
Hope so.
Don't forget to check out our other episodes, follow us for more such deep dives, and stay tuned for the next book we'll be dissecting. We love helping you discover new layers in the stories you cherish.
We do indeed.
Until next time, remember, feed your brain, starve your inner fool.